Hello there, my friend. My name is Decaf Ross, and you are watching Decaf-Math ASMR. It's wonderful to have you join us here today. It's a beautiful day here in our studio, and I hope that it's beautiful wherever you are. Today, I'd like to invite you to work through a question with me. I thought it would be one that you'd especially enjoy. Feel free to grab your graphing paper and a number 2 pencil and come math along with us. As usual, no prior experience is necessary, just a good attitude, readiness to have fun, and that's it. That's all that we need, isn't it? Let's play together, my friend. Let's start with the supplies. I will have them flash the colors down below. I have them right here as well. And as they're doing that, let me also introduce to you my canvas. Here I have a whiteboard of this size. And I have already pre-prepared it. I have double primed it with a shiny whiteboard solution, and it is quite important. It will make mathing much easier if you do this step. You'll notice that for this particular picture that we will be working on, we do not need a palette knife, but in other pictures and other paintings that we do, a palette knife can be very useful. Sometimes when we get to very rigorous math, the palette knife is really the only tool that we end up using. Today, this picture is very beginner friendly, so we're going to have a lot of fun. Are you ready to begin? Well, come along. Let us begin with pink. We'll also need our brush here. And what we're going to do is load up this pink. We want all of the ink to end up on the tip of this expo. That's what the brush is for. So we're going to just begin like that, a little flicking motion. That's it. Easy does it. Just like that, to get the ink to the tip. Well, a lot of people know that we can use the brush for a little bit of texture, some painting techniques, but a lesser known use for it is to clear off the stuff on the tip of markers. So you can do that if your marker is especially dry. We really want that ink to be evenly coated before we begin. That's it. Yes, perfect. Now it's getting nice and ready for us to begin our foundational layer. Good. Now we're going to set this aside. Now our first layer is our backdrop. So let's begin with our first question. Everything else will build off of this. So let's take a look here. How about a little X there, a little squared, and plus 5x, my friend. And I think today 20 speaks to me. 20 and 14. That's nice. That's nice, yes. Each day is different, my friend, and this is our world. Math is your world. You can do this. You can pick whatever numbers you please, but 20 speaks to me today, and it really is such a gorgeous day out today. Okay, so we have an x squared and a 5x, my friend, and a 20 and a 14. Now, note there's a little 2 there. We do want to be careful that it remains up there, because if it falls down, it no longer means x squared. So we'll want to be careful that that little 2 stays up there. We have a little x, another little x, 5, 20, 14. We're all good to go. That is a wonderful base layer. We don't want too much in the background. We don't want it to overpower all the stuff that we're going to add to it. So, yes, just looking at this, that little 2 reminds me of this bird. One time, there was this little bird that ended up on my porch, and it was the cutest, sweetest little bird, but I think it lost its mother, and it was just lost, and it was just chirping, 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 looking for its mother, and I ended up just rescuing it, and I didn't know what to do at first because I didn't want to shock the little fella, you know? You don't want to just randomly, I know we have good hearts and want to help, but you don't want to shock the little fella, but he really looked so helpless, and he was so sweet. We nursed him back, and we ended up finding his mother, and he was on his happy little way, and it was just so precious. What a nice little blessing. So that little 2 just reminded me of that little bird, and so just make sure your little 2 bird ends up there and stays there, doesn't fall down. Oh, what a sweet fella. Anyway, so here's our first base layer. Why don't we change colors now, shall we? I think that's enough pink. Well, why don't we add a little bit of Phthalo Expo Blue. This is one of my favorite colors. You see this beauty? This Phthalo Expo Blue. And I can't really describe why I love it so much, but it's just so expo-y, you know? It's so expo-y. It's just such a lovely color. Let's add a little bit of dabble in that into here, okay? Just a little dabble all around here. So why don't we go ahead and do a little -14 here. But if we do a -14 here, every -14 needs a little friend. We can't just leave it there. So we'll just add a little -14 friend for that -14. We all need number friends, don't you think? What number are you? That's good. Good, that's a lovely number. So this -14 has a -14 friend. Let's just go ahead and put that there. But before we do this, math can be just kind of boring sometimes, you know. Let's add some clouds. How about some clouds? Let's add some clouds in the sky. And you want to make sure that the clouds are different sized. So some are going to look closer to you and some are going to look further back. You'll want to add a little bit of shading as well. Let's add this light Expo Blue, also a lovely color. Just add a little bit of shading there. The lights hit the clouds differently, you know, from different angles because physics, but we'll add some integrals here in the sky. How lovely, lovely, lovely. And it's nice to jump around your picture if it speaks to you in that way. It's your world. You get to do whatever you want. But it's lovely sometimes to jump around to let this piece kind of dry a little bit. So we have our little integral sky. How wonderful. Kind of look like birds, yeah. They look like birds. Oof. Maybe a few too many, but that's all right. Lots of little clouds. And now it looks like they're just moving. The clouds are just moving across our sky. Beautiful, wonderful. Now that already cheers me up. I love just the thought of clouds drifting through. So let's come back to this now, my friend. Let's look at this. So we have our x squared and our 5x, but now we have a 6 and a little 0. I just love having zeros here because when we have zeros here, it creates this movement. We have like a nothingness here, and then our mountain goes on this side, and this is just so wonderful. This is great. This is looking really good. Very good, my friend. Why don't we add something to the ground? Now that we've done the sky, why don't we move on to a little bit of something down here? We need some ground, don't you think? How about some foil, soil, and some grass. Let's just do a little bit of foiling here, shall we? Let's do a little bit of foiling here. From this, we have our little x plus 2 and our x plus 3 soil, and this just adds a little bit of texture. Let's just have a little bit of texture here, a little bit of grass coming off of that. How lovely. How lovely. Sometimes it's good to step back and just take a look at your big picture. Sometimes you want some things in the front. These are all just little decisions that we make, and you can make whatever decisions you want, my friend. You can do foiling, and you can do quadratics, and you can just do whatever you please. Here you could add a little bit of a palette knife for a texture, but we don't want to break this too much. It's kind of a little delicate picture today that we're looking at, so this is lovely for me. This is lovely. If you want extra texture, you can reuse that brush that we had earlier. It's so lovely for the grass. You can even add it to the skies too. The sky. And if it's getting too dirty, this is my favorite part, my friend. Let me show you what to do with this. If your brush gets too dirty because you're using it for texture, what you can do is, I have a cup of water here, my friend. A cup of water. All you have to do is rinse it out. Tap it against that cup, and if it's really stuck on there though, sometimes you really just gotta beat the devil out of this thing. Really just smack it, beat the devil out of that thing, because sometimes the color just really gets stuck on it. So, but then after you're done, it's fresh and good as new, ready to be used for your next little bit here. It's my favorite. It's just lovely to just rinse it out and beat the devil out of that thing. Anyways, this is looking really wonderful, my friend. You're doing an awesome job, and yours might not look exactly like mine, but that's okay. All of ours are unique. We're just here to have some fun. I think the sky needs some more. How about a tree? How about we throw in a tree here? I often like to do tall birch trees around here, but today we're going to do a sigma tree, I think. I think this picture needs a sigma tree, so we're just going to add some absolute values along the trunk there for some texture and just some branches. And then on the top there, we're just going to add some sigmas. How lovely. This tree looks a little bit lonely. Of course, we'll need to add a little tree friend, don't you think? And it can be off to the side a little bit. It's okay. I mean, hopefully that doesn't fall over. So, it's okay. That was a happy little accident. It was a little bit too far that way, but let's just bend it back. And there are no mistakes here, you know? They're just happy little accidents. Our tree can grow back. It has hope. It has strong roots. We can fix that just like that, and just throw in a little sigmas. No two trees are the same, my friend, so it's all right. And I love these kinds of trees because there really is no limit here. So let's add a little bit more texture here. No limits, no limits. A little bit of infinity here, here, here. Oh, it's looking so wonderful. So wonderful. I think this is looking great. Now take a step back, make sure it's everything that you want it to be. I think we're ready to sign this one off, don't you think? Don't forget to sign it. I'm going to go ahead and sign mine right here, my friend. Don't forget to sign your beautiful masterpiece. And I would love to see what you create. If you'd like to sign yours and snap me a picture and send it into our studio, I would love to take a look. But it's been really wonderful having you, my friend. I hope that you've really enjoyed mathing here with us. God bless, happy mathing, and I will see you next time. Take care, my friend. Bye-bye.